In 2023, when there is an exhausting amount of streaming services, it's safe to say that we all kind of miss video rental stores. There's been a slow-growing nostalgia for VHSs and rental store culture over the last few years. And with behind-the-scenes rights battles and HBO Max, or Max or whatever they're calling it right now, constantly removing movies and shows from its library, physical media has become more important than ever for the circulation of art. Movies like Andrei Zulawski's Possession went decades without being available digitally, and as of this recording, Elaine May's classic The Heartbreak Kid is still nowhere to be found. Preserving films is the real importance of having a video store, and the main reason that my friends and I want to build one. I'm Patrick Willems, and in this new show, I'll be teaming up with cult film archaeologist Danielle Radford, as well as many other filmmakers and experts, and we're going to curate the selection of, hopefully, the greatest video rental store the world has ever seen. Welcome to Staff Picks. Welcome to Staff Picks, the show where we hunt down VHSs, DVDs, and Blu-rays, trying to fill the shelf space of our video rental store evenly between the big four movie genres. Each episode will focus on a specific genre, and the lot of us will have to unanimously decide one movie to be added to the Staff Picks video store collection.
All right, so here we are. We are at Station 1 out here in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, which is a store that has one of the largest used VHS/DVD selections in the tri-state area to pick the first movie in our store's collection, because we are making a video store.
An actual video store?
An actual video store where you can go in and put your hands all on stuff.
Yeah.
Get your grubby mitts on it.
Ew.
Touch it.
I don't touch things anymore.
Touch my VHS.
So I want to introduce our guests for this and the upcoming episodes, Jonah Ray and Chinesha. Jonah Ray, what was your local video store growing up?
My local video store was Video Joe. It was this guy that just ran this video. Like he wanted to start a coffee shop.
What's his name, Joe?
This was kind of part of the interesting part of the story, is that him and his partner wanted to start a store, but he really wanted to make a coffee shop. His partner really wanted to do a video store. They finally got like the lease, and they were going to try and do a double thing, but his partner actually ended up dying tragically. And so he named the place Video Joe in honor of him and ran it until Blockbuster came into town, ran them out of business. I wanted to work there so badly. I would go every Friday after school, see what was coming out. And he was always very, very good about like telling me, he's like, I think you'll like this, which is the very important part of that experience, is like, he's like, I think you'll like Bottle Rocket. I was like, we'll see. And you know, and I could never work there though, because I was in high school and they rented pornography.
Wow, a lot of teenagers worked at my local video store, which had an over 18 section.
Maybe I'm just realizing he didn't want to give me a job.
All right, folks, today we are picking for our action show.
So I think it's time to look at our picks, our action movie picks. So we do not know what each person has selected, and so I'm not going first. Jonah, you were a guest here, and you have the honor.
As the guest, I'd rather not.
Well, too bad.
Isn't the guest always right?
The producers told me you go first.
Right on. You gotta respect producers. Yeah. All right. So for action, my pick is. Okay. All right. Okay. Don't. All right. Okay. Let's go into. Actually, here, just for now, I'm gonna grab this. Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers.
I did see that on my way out and was like, shit, maybe I should have picked that.
I like that people are coming back around to it and reevaluating it. People at the time thought it was just this, big dumb action movie, but he was doing the same amount of social commentary and satire that he did with RoboCop. This is basically an anti-fascist movie. It's the idea that it's all pro-war and about propaganda. It's about colonization and all these people that seem to just be really Aryan. It's because, they're all kind of basically supposed to be like, what if the Germans kind of kept on taking over the world? Mm-hmm. So it's a wild movie, has a lot to say, it's a lot to be talked about. It also still delivers on sci-fi action and humor and just
big bugs.
Yeah, big bugs. And so that would be my pick, because it delivers on different levels for an audience. For a family to rent this, go home. Actually, it does have nudity in it, so maybe not the family.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
kids
my parents would definitely play that.
You smash the entire area. You kill anything that has more than 2 legs. You get me? We get you, sir.
I'm so glad I got the reaction from you, so I know that this is a good possibility.
It's in the running.
Yeah, it's in the running, but let's see.
It's a lot of pressure. This is intense pressure.
What do you got?
Honestly, I'm still not even sure which film goes into which category at this point, but I think I know what I want. Galaxy Quest, one of the greatest Star Trek films of all time. I went with Galaxy Quest.
So I almost picked that one for comedy. So Galaxy Quest, that could be up there, sci-fi, but comedy.
Among the Star Trek contributions, this is probably among the best one.
Yes.
It's one of the best Star Trek movies. You're not even
and that's basically my pitch for it. It's one of the best Star Trek movies. It's a classic. It stands up to test of time. You could watch it today or 20 years ago and you'd still love it. And it gets funnier every time I watch it.
It's a great movie. And the amount of amazing actors that are in it, just across the board. Sam Rockwell's in there.
Galaxy Quest, it handles, because it's so easy when you do something that is a loving send-up of tropes, especially when it's something as kind of silly and goofy as sci-fi tropes can be, that to be able to do it and still, you get the jokes, you get the humor, but it's still a movie. I am at the point now when it comes to meta comedy where I don't mind it if it's funny, but please stop apologizing to me for being a movie.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of movies these days spend a lot of their time apologizing to me for being what kind of movie it is. And this is so incredibly sincere while still being able to hit on the parody and really examining the tropes of the genre. Chef's kiss, great job.
I do love it. It's earnest, it's self-aware, and he probably won't like this, but I think it's one of Tony Shalhoub's best performances. And so
he's very good in it. It's great, even if you, like, 'cause when I saw it as a kid, I was not really familiar with Star Trek, and I was just like, this movie is awesome.
Did this film make you want to become a Star Trek fan? Or are you a Star Trek fan? Get out. Just get out.
It's like a great shame of mine. The first Star Trek thing I saw was the 2009 movie. I went back and then watched other stuff, but like.
But all right, still, do you? I need to understand this now. Do you like Star Trek?
It
has to be
it's
yes.
a yes or no question.
Yes.
Okay, then that, because I would truly.
I do.
Okie dokie. All right, we've gone. Now
Okay.
Is it me?
Danielle, I believe you are up.
I'm starting to see a pattern in the action movies that we've picked. Yes, I think this is. Yes, I'm gonna go with Stargate.
So this is what's wild. It's like sci-fi's not on one of the genre lists. Everything I was looking at, I was like, that's sci-fi. It's like everything's sci-fi.
Because it can't, sci-fi has this thing. It could be character driven or it could be action, and I feel like we leaned into that.
And Stargate, I would say it leans maybe a little more into the drama, but there is some great action. Part of it is for the time when it came out. I remember people being into it, but it wasn't the same as a new Star Wars or a new Star Trek or something like that. And then it found its home as a television show on cable.
And spawned 8,000 episodes?
Yeah, Presidents Past for as many Stargates as there were. I always really appreciate when you take a movie, because there's obviously so much world building that happens in this, worlds building, that it's impossible for them to cover it all in this one movie. So the fact that this was able to be a jumping off point for them to be able to explore all of the good work that they've done, because you can feel the scaffolding of all of it and them just not being able to get there.
This is what's wild. If I was to say this first sentence on the back describing this movie, would you think it's from Stargate? When a mysterious woman makes Professor Daniel Jackson an offer he can't refuse, he ends up in a secret Air Force military base. And if you heard that, where you go, oh, it's clearly Stargate.
Guys, I have two really embarrassing things to say right now. One, I haven't seen Stargate. I have not seen it. Two, a friend literally recently loaned me their copy of Stargate, and I could have watched it last night.
Wow.
And I'm just like, why didn't I just decide to watch it last night, and I'd be so ready for this?
There's an episode in Deep Space Nine, this is Star Trek, been circling back, that is very much like Stargate. So if you want to dip your toe in before you get to Stargate, land there and see how you feel.
The main takeaway here is you really want me to watch more Star Trek.
I'm just trying to open your world and make you a better person, is what I'm trying to do.
I know. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. What a rush. Wait, am I up?
Yes.
You.
Okay, all right. I don't feel like this is this almost seems too obvious.
No, you can't set up like that. Start again.
All right. The best I've found so far is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
there you
Terminator
go.
2 Judgment Day.
Why are you all doing this to me?
This is one of those ones where I'm like, do I have to explain it?
No, you should, but no.
Yeah, okay, so Terminator 2 is a film written and directed by James Cameron. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Maybe just get to why you like it.
It's one of, I would put this in like the 10 best action movies ever made. Here was my thought process with this, with like all of this, because I'm like, okay, should the staff picks be like not the most obvious thing that's like, oh, right, the most famous one? I'm like, should it be like the kind of thing that people might not immediately go to, but we're like, oh, look, we're the staff, we think you should consider it.
So
But
instead of doing that, you picked one of the biggest movies of all time.
Yes, exactly. It is so popular. It had a now gone Universal Studios attraction.
Four sequels, a television show.
Yeah. Well, look, not as many TV shows and stuff as Stargate.
That's true.
Also, Starship Troopers. A lot of direct-to-video sequels there.
That's true. About 3 or 4, yeah.
yeah.
Third one is Back to Basics. It is very good.
Do they like bring back like the satire, or is it just like
Yes.
straight? Okay.
They bring back the satire, and it is very much a parody of what was happening currently in American politics at that time.
I was actually going to say that's why this one is a really good choice. It's kind of timely because, you know, ChatGPT is attempting to be the new Skynet, so
Exactly.
kind of a little
exactly.
on nose, actually.
The GIF of the skeleton exploding in fire is used on the internet countless times every single day. But it's also just like, this is the action category. The action scenes in this movie are like all-timers.
It's
It is-
action-packed.
It is. It's the thing. It's like this anointed James Cameron is like, okay, he's officially one of the great action filmmakers of all time.
And it inspired the go-to animated GIF for Homer Simpson, where he goes back into
Exactly.
which is weird because it's a reference of a reference.
Right.
Yeah.
But like the effects still look awesome.
Hold on.
Yes.
Recently, I was watching it on like a Blu-ray, and there was a shot where it's like, you know, the time bubble thing that they kind of come in through and like
Right.
and took out some of the chain link fence, and you see the glowing embers of the end, the hot metal around it. In the Blu-ray version, you could see that it's just Dayglow orange tape pieces.
No.
And it's that thing that makes VHS so great, is that it kind of hides a little the inconsistencies like that.
It does.
I understand what you're saying about, like, I don't necessarily want to pick the most popular thing of all time. Look, there's a reason people wanted to visit the 8 wonders of the world. Like, I do think that it is definitely worth it to have some of these. And Terminator 2, just the fact that this man can just come in and make every sequel be perform as well, if not better, than the original.
Aliens?
I'm sure. I thought we were talking about all the sequels
no,
to
no.
that.
No, let me just go ahead and say every part 2.
Okay, fair.
No, but we're saying when James Cameron makes a sequel.
Shit, fair.
Let's
just I want to clarify. That's all.
Because when you look at, even with Avatar Way of Water, I can think of very few filmmakers who are like, in order for this movie to make any money, it has got to pass like $1 billion, $2 billion.
I do feel weird when I'm like, the only billionaire in the world that I root for ever is James Cameron.
He's
And
only
then
in
he pulls it
competition
off.
with himself now. But to that,
Yes.
because Terminator 2 and James Cameron there's a monolith. It's like he's one of the biggest filmmakers of all time. There's going to be no situation where no one could ever not see Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
That is true.
Which is a
Yes.
reason that I think it doesn't get on the staff picks.
It is, I understand that. There is also the thought, thinking of, you know, our experiences being younger people going into video stores, discovering movies that way, and I'm like, look, I have had those weird conversations with like Gen Z people where I'm like, oh, you haven't seen like Terminator 2 or these movies that I just assume everybody has seen? And I'm like, the hope for a video store is that it will help people discover new things, and even if it is such a giant blockbuster that we think everyone's familiar with, I'm like, I'm thinking about like the current 15-year-old.
That's the unique part of aging, especially for us, is that we came up with the ubiquity of access and information, but also that it was still new and fresh for us. And now we're like, of course you know all of the music that I know and all of the movies that I know. Because now they have even more access and information. And they're like, what the hell is this? Like, this just came out. This just happened. This is new. Like this.
This time, he's back for good. Trust me.
Okay, if we're making the choices, this is tough. And again, I haven't seen Stargate. I'm so sorry. I will. My one kind of criteria for action is I think it has to have at least a great, like, action scene. I would 100% vote Galaxy Quest for comedy. For action, I'm struggling to remember
There's the whole shootout scene where spoiler alert, where he kills the alien at the end of.
I mean,
Sure, but that's not that wild of an
action.
It's sure. There's things moving on camera.
So there's the scene with the ship when they come in, and I believe it's like Justin Long is helping kind of do the airplane thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And some stuff
And it
blows
crashes
up.
right
yeah.
But that's not like a set piece. That's not like it's that's just a thing that
I'm not saying there's no
happens.
action. I'm just if we're listing the genres, I would have action a distant third to comedy and sci-fi. Here's the thing. I would endorse anyone bringing back Galaxy Quest. Honestly, if you wanted to just bring it back as your comedy pick, I very likely might vote for that.
Well,
So
I also really do love Terminator 2, and so this is actually my vote.
Yeah. Thing about Terminator 2, it is a sequel, so it's you want it to stand on its own as a movie without. I mean, not that you really have to know what happened in Terminator.
right. And then
There's some context clues here that I
Yeah.
think
there are.
figured out.
I mean, again, there is the cool opening prologue, and
maybe
which
this is a really rough one because I'm real stuck between Starship Troopers and Terminator 2. This is my I need to split the baby in half. This is my Sophie's choice.
Well, you know you're gonna watch Starship Troopers at any point, right? It's gonna be a thing that you love.
Yes.
It'll be a pick for you at any time. But if you knew that you had to make sure someone walked out with a new favorite film, what would you tell them to watch?
See, and this is where it gets very difficult because as much as I do enjoy Terminator 2 Judgment Day, that is a Sunday TBS dad movie.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I mean? After
Movies for dads that like movies.
Exactly. It's gonna come on right after Shawshank Redemption. Most importantly, because you will see a Starship Trooper sometimes, because of the way that Terminator 2 was shot, it's not gonna get nearly as butchered on the TV. So that's still kind of a satisfying experience. With Starship Troopers, you put that thing on basic cable and you're missing a lot of what's happening. And it's
You
not just
really
the boobs and
are.
butts.
Yeah.
Are we doing this?
We're down to twosies.
Sorry to Stargate.
This is a case where I really don't mind between either one of these.
So the thing is about it, it's again, Terminator 2, it's iconic. It's great. Even if someone hasn't seen it, they'll probably just know about it, through.
Jonah?
Whoa!
Oh!
Are we allowed to
can you do that?
concede our own
Yeah, you're are you taking this out of the running? What if I still like this one?
We both like this one. All four of us love this one. Again,
Some kid comes up to the counter, hey, everyone says this is great, and you go, you know what, it is.
Yep.
But have you ever seen the anti-fascist masterpiece?
He's gonna hate me afterwards, though. There's a 50-50 chance they come back and fuck you, I'm never coming here.
That's when you tell them you're wrong, and you play up the whole asshole video store clerk.
Well, here's the thing. I think, if you're 13 and up and you watch this, even if you don't get any of the subtext or the satire, it just rules. And then you get older, and then you see it for in a whole new light, and you love it more.
So I'm really having a hard time conceding this one.
I did not expect someone else to fight harder than me for my own pick.
Listen,
I love it.
I'm competitive, even if it's not mine. I'm a ride or die.
You're just trying to celebrate his pick, so he goes and watches Star Trek.
Look, there is a quid pro quo here.
That is true.
Look, okay. I'm okay.
Hey!
I think that's a good one, especially I think that aged fantastically.
Have you shown this to people who've never seen it before recently?
No.
It's a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
They aren't ready for what this thing is, and it's so much fun to watch. Thinking of the idea of staff picks, I have to concede that Starship Troopers, I think, it's not again, it was a very expensive movie released by a major studio. This is not a weird little underground pick, but it's also one that your average 15-year-old has not seen, but needs to.
I won!
Going in, I really felt like... Could you do a really slow zoom on that?
It's got boobs in it. Oops.
Can you play the audio of the guy shouting "Nuke it, Rico" and then have fire appear over his face?
So horny.
That's it. We did it. We nailed it. What a good episode.
That was
nice.
That was good, right?
That was fun.
It did okay.
Nice.
That was fun.
That was good.
Yeah. Let's do it 3 more times.
Yeah!
So I think the lesson here is we like sci-fi movies.
Is sci-fi the best genre for action then?
We are nerds, and we are constrained by the limits of whatever video shop we've walked into. And yes, I think it is the best genre for carrying.
Yeah,
It is. But yeah, like going back there, you know, I went in really wanting to pick a Jackie Chan movie, and then they didn't have any of the Jackie Chan movies that I wanted to pick.
I wanted Fist of the White Lotus. That's an action movie.
There you go.
Was not present.
It's like even like Bullet with Steve McQueen. Great. It's like that's an action movie, but you know, compared to this, it's the most boring movie ever made.
Right.
About like 20 hubcaps that fly off a car in San Francisco.
Oh, but when that hubcap flies off, it's good.
Yes.
It's really good.